We are live. Now, I don't usually do this, but um, yesterday I finished playing Pokemon Sword and Shield. Actually, no, I don't have Pokemon Shield. I have Pokemon Sword. I just finished playing Pokemon Sword yesterday, and I don't usually do this, which is give my review on it. But you know, there was a part in the game that I found that was really disappointing. So I thought, you know what, might as well hash it out, and at the same time, give a review on it. So overall, I mean, which by the way, before we get started on the review, okay, social media will be at bottom of the screen in the link in the description below. If you have any of those platforms, make sure you guys go follow your boy. And I was gonna actually, to be honest, I was gonna say welcome, welcome everybody, welcome Dragon Ball fans. But then I realized it's not even a Dragon Ball video, because I'm so used to saying that, in my intro. But speaking of Dragon Ball, just off topic here, real quick. If you guys have not seen the new footage for Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, make sure you guys go check it out. It features Super Saiyan Teen Trunks killing King Cold and Mecha Frieza. But I saw the footage. I was going to do a review on it, but the footage was too short for me to do a reaction review on it. So it's like, so I was just like, you know what, forget it. But yeah, go check out that footage for all you Dragon Ball fans out there. But anyways, back to this Pokemon Sword and Shield review. So anyways, I overall it was a good game. It was just like any other Pokemon game. It was fun. Like it was what you expect in a Pokemon RPG game. Couple of changes. Couple of changes with the Pokemon games from previous versions. Number one, you don't have to pay heart skills anymore to learn a move, or to relearn a move, I should say. Because in the previous Pokemon games, you need to find heart skills and give it to the move tutor in order for your Pokemon to remember a move. But in this one, um, in Pokemon Sword and Shield, it's different. It's different, but at the same time, it's easier because you have all the move tutors in every single Pokemon Center. So it's like you have every Pokemon Center you go to in every town, you have a move tutor that will not only teach your Pokemon reteach a Pokemon a move, but they he will that same move tutor will give your Pokemon a nickname, or like if you want to delete a move for your Pokemon, you're welcome to do that. And he does it all for free. That's the best part. He does it all for free. The move tutor in there does it all for free, which is absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Um, Although I wish we could have gotten more gift Pokemon. Because the only gift Pokemon you get is the Toxel at the at the nursery daycare center. You get a type Null. Once you become Pokemon champion and you go visit the Battle Tower, which I have not gotten mine yet in Pokemon Sword. You If you have Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu or Let's Go Eevee, depending on what save data you have, you either get a Pikachu or an Eevee. Um, or you get you get what's the other one? Oh yeah, the fossil Pokemon. Which by the way, as another change in Pokemon Sword and Shield, where you gotta find two different fossils and to combine them in order to revive a fossil Pokemon. Um, how do I feel about that? I actually like it, to be honest. I actually like the fact where you have to go find two different fossils, and just you know and so that you can merge them together to create a fossil Pokemon. I think it to me it's like a challenge, and I like a challenge. Um, I like it's unlike previous Pokemon games where if where you go choose a fossil, or you go in a certain area, whichever one you choose, the other one you don't get. Um, for example, if you guys have played Pokemon Ruby, Sapphire, Pokemon Emerald, you get two 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 different fossils, which is the root fossil and I believe the claw. Was it the claw fossil? Anyways, whichever one you choose, the other one goes sinks below the sand, which you cannot, and then you cannot obtain it. Uh, if you want to obtain it, you gotta trade it from your other version. Or like let's say if you guys have played Red and Blue, or even Pokemon Leaf Green, Fire Red, you are given the Amber fossil, which I believe uh, gives revives what's that Pokemon Aerodactyl. So unlike previous Pokemon games, this one you gotta find. You gotta find the fossils. I think it was like that with Sun and Moon as well, and even in Pokemon X and Y, where you gotta find the fossil. But unlike Sun and Moon and X and Y, when you find the fossil, you can just go and revive it. But with Pokemon Sword and Shield, not only do you have to find the fossil, but you have to find two different fossils to create a Pokemon. Which to me, I like that change. The only hard part about that is you need to save up a lot of watts. Because if you go into the wild area, for those of you who have the game and you should know what I'm talking about, you go into the wild area. The easiest way to get uh, fossils is go into the wild area, save up a lot of those watts, um, those energy watts, and then go to the what was it the Wild Bridge or the Wild Bridge area. There's two brothers. Talk to them. They'll dig up some fabulous items for you. Now, the hard part about it is not only you got to save up a lot of watts because they'll do it because when those brothers dig up the items for you, it's 500 watts every time. So not only you have to save up a lot of watts, but all the items that you get with that the brothers dig up for you in the game is random. So you can get you can get you can get a fossil, you can get you can get a stardust, you can get rare bone, you can get metal coat, you can get whatever items they have there, whatever items. It can be anything, like just what I'm saying, like it can be anything, and it's all randomized, and it's all pretty much your luck. That's those are the two hard parts that there is. But other than that, I know when I did it in Pokemon Sword, I saved up a lot of watts. I had about 16,000 something watts saved up, and it it took me what, 10,000 watts to get another fossil, because I got fossilized dino so many times, and I'm like, okay, just give me another fossil, give me a different fossil besides fossilized dino, so that I can go and revive a fossil Pokemon. And it took me about 9 to 10,000 watts, to get a different fossil other than fossilized dino, which was a stupid amount of watts. But you know what? Like I said, it's random, you know. But in a way, like it's a challenge. And like I said, I like a challenge, so I kind of like this change. I kind of like this change. Um, and the background music was really good too. I love the background music. I don't know. It's just it makes me feel really heroic. Something about the background music makes me just feel really heroic. Um, my only thing is I wish there was more dragon type Pokemon, because you could get dragon type Pokemon, but there's only so little dragon type Pokemon in the eighth generation. One of them being the Ludon. It's the Dragon Steel type. There's only a 1% chance of finding it. Um, Number one, and number two, uh, the other Dragon type Pokemon you can get is through a fossil. So you need like a what was it, fossil Dino and fossil Drake, I think, to combine them, and you get was it Dracozolt in there, which I believe is a Dragon Electric type. So I believe, and I know there's a few more Dragon types in the eighth generation, but I just kind of wish like they put more Dragon types in there. I know Dragon type Pokemon are hard to find, they're hard to raise, but I don't know, just put more Dragon type Pokemon in there. And also, speaking of, now that we're on the topic, I kind of wish that they add more eighth gen Pokemon. Like I know it, with Pokemon Sword and Shield, you're gonna find Pokemon from all different eras, first gen, second gen, third gen, whatever, right? But I just kind of wish like they put more um the eighth generation Pokemon were more common. But again, it is what it is, right? But that's just like that's just me. That's just in my opinion. Also, national Pokedex. They don't have you don't get the national Pokedex anymore. Um, that's another change. One of the disappointing changes. No national Pokedex, which kind of sucks because, you know, I'm used to having a national Pokedex in previous Pokemon games, which allows me to catch more Pokemon. But apparently, whatever Pokemon they took in Sword and Shield, um, they were just like, okay, you know what? We're just gonna take this 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 amount of Pokemon, and we're just gonna put it in Sword and Shield. Whatever the rest, you guys gotta trade it from, I believe, Pokemon Home. I think Pokemon Home. Because I was on Cerebi.net. I was looking at the Pokemon that are not available, and the only way to get them is through trade from Pokemon Home. So if you have Pokemon Home, and if you have them in Pokemon Home, you can trade it into your Sword or trade into your Shield version, depending on what version you have. Um, so that's the kind of thing that's the thing that kind of sucks is that there's no national Pokedex. Um, Also a lot of changes too. Like there's no little minor changes too. Like there's no XP share anymore, which is good in a way because if you catch a Pokemon or if you win a battle, your entire Pokemon party gets XP points. With the exception if they don't faint. Because if they faint, then they don't get the XP points. But if if they still have like a certain amount of HP, and if you like catch a Pokemon or if you like, you know, win a battle or win a match, Pokemon in your party will get XP points. So you don't need an XP share, which is good. I would prefer, because in previous Pokemon games, there's an item called the XP share. So the XP share is an item you give to your Pokemon to hold, and it will, you know, your Pokemon will get XP points. But the thing is, your Pokemon will get XP points. You only get one XP share. That's the thing. With previous Pokemon games, you only get one XP share, and the one XP share you give to your Pokemon to hold, and that's the Pokemon that's going to be getting XP points. Um, so it was harder to raise your six Pokemon at once. But I feel like in Pokemon Sword and Shield, now that they took out the XP share, it's easier to raise all six Pokemon in your party, um, which is a good thing. Which is for me, I would much rather have it that way. Gym challenges are the gyms are still there, but it's like it's not really called gyms anymore. It's called gym challenges. Um, it's similar to previous Pokemon games where you gotta go fight the gyms and all that stuff, but they just added their own little twist to it, which is gym challenge, championship cup. Instead of the Elite Four, they just call it the Championship Cup. Not too concerned about that. I think it's kind of I'm neutral about that. Like I'm not really too concerned about that. Um, Here's the thing that really disappointed me last night, though. Okay, so overall it was a good game, but here's the thing that really disappointed me last night. So I caught, as you know, in Pokemon Sword, Pokemon Shield, depending on what version you have, you get the legendary Pokemon that corresponds to the game, right? So in Pokemon Sword, you get Zacian, and in Pokemon Shield, you get Zamazenta. So I have Pokemon Sword, and I did the post arc story mode, where you have to fight the brothers and stop the Pokemon from go to basically every single gym, stop the Pokemon from Dynamaxing, and then you're gonna once you do all that, then you'll be able to fight the legendary Pokemon in the game. Now, keep in mind, for those, and I'm pretty sure you guys already know this, Zacian and Zamazenta, when you fight them in the game, they appear to you at level 70. That's the highest level. Actually, yeah, that is the highest level. I was gonna say Eternatus is the highest level, but no, Eternatus, I think you catch him at level 60. At level 60, yeah. So Zacian and Zamazenta, you get them at level 70, which is the highest level in the game. And here's the thing that I found really disappointing, because I could have done this, but I didn't do it. Okay, I could have caught Zacian, the legendary Pokemon in Shield, or no, the legendary Pokemon in Sword. Sorry, with a friggin' Pokeball. But I ended up using a Master Ball, and it was a disappointing. And even though I have the Pokemon, I'm like to myself, it's a disappointing catch, because I know I could have caught it with a Pokeball, but me being the idiot that I am, I used what's that Pokemon? Colossal. I used Colossal. Now, if you don't have the Pokemon Colossal, one of his abilities is Flame Body. Okay, one of his abilities is Flame Body, and what Flame Body does, it burns your opponent on contact. So when your opponent is burned, right, it will deplete HP every time. Every time your opponent is affected by the burn effect, it will deplete HP, just like poison, right? If your enemy is poisoned, or if your Pokemon is poisoned, your every time poison hits your Pokemon or your opponent's Pokemon, depending on whichever side is poison, will lose HP. And here's the thing. Okay, so I had Zacian weakened. Okay, I had him weakened, and basically Zacian, he took out pretty much half my team. And I was gonna use revives, but then at the same time I was just like, you know what? Like, if I use a revive, then he's gonna take out another one of my Pokemon. Now keep in mind, Zacian was level 70. I had my Pokemon were like level 60 something. So Zacian, when I was fighting Zacian, the legendary Pokemon of Sword, he was taking out he was taking out my Pokemon with one hit hits. That's basically what he was doing. Okay, so there was no point in me using a revive, because I was like, if I use a revive, then the current Pokemon I have on the field, he's gonna probably take it out in one hit. So I said, okay, you know what? I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna weaken it, right? I'm gonna weaken it. So I did. I weakened it to like it was red, and then my Zacian, or the Zacian, took out one of my Pokemon, and I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going to have to bring out another Pokemon. And me being so stupid, I picked Colossal instead of Eternatus. I think Eternatus was still was still able to fight. I think he was at that time he was at full HP. But I don't remember, but I could have brought out any other Pokemon, and I brought out Colossal, and my Colossal's flame body obviously affected Zacian, and Zacian was burned, and he had low HP, and I'm like, shit, I have to use the Master Ball. Like, I'm not going to, because I'm not. I mean, I saved the game, right? Because for those of you who don't know, when before you fight a legendary Pokemon, you gotta save the game. If you don't save the game, then you lose your chance in catching it, right? So before I fought Zacian, before I fought the legendary Pokemon on Sword, I saved my game. I saved my game, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna go. Because I knew I wanted to catch it with a Pokeball. I've done it before. I've caught a level 80 Deoxys with a Pokeball, for crying out loud. Okay, so I'm like, okay, the Zacian that's a level 70 in Pokemon Sword, it should be no problem for me. I'm gonna catch it with a Pokeball. Okay, now, like I said, Zacian took out half my team, and I could have sent out any other Pokemon, but me being so stupid, I sent out my Colossal, and my Colossal had the ability Flame Body, and it burned Zacian. Flame Body, my Colossal Flame Body burned Zacian. The end and it was already weak. Its health was almost depleted, so I'm like, shit. I have to use the Master Ball. I'm not gonna spend time if I if I spend time throwing a Pokeball at it, then obviously I'm gonna have to reboot the game, right? Because I saved the game earlier before I fought Zacian. I saved the game earlier so that I don't lose my chance in catching the legendary Pokemon. Because when you catch a legendary Pokemon, like I said, yeah, save the game. Because if you don't save the game and you fail, that's it, gone. You're not gonna catch it again, right? So and it was late at that night. It was late too. Like, it was late in the middle of the night. It was like almost 2 o'clock in the middle of the night. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm just gonna use a Master Ball, because if I catch it with a Pokeball, it's gonna faint. Then I'm gonna have to reboot the game, and who knows how many times I have to reboot the game, and how many Pokeballs is gonna cost me, um um to catch Zakin. It's gonna take me hours, and I have to get up early the next day, right? And it was like almost 2 o'clock in the middle of the night. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna finish this right now. Throw a Master Ball, throw the Master Ball, boom, done. And after I did it, I caught it. I was just like, you know what? Such a disappointing catch, because I knew I could have caught it with a Pokeball. I knew I could have done it. I've done it before in previous versions. I caught if you go back to Sun and Moon, I've caught Solgaleo and Lunala with a Pokeball. Okay, the trick is, all you need is a lot of Pokeballs and a lot of patience. That's all you need. And if you have a Pokemon with sleep or paralysis, well and good, well and good. Okay, but the two main things that you need to catch a legendary Pokemon with a Pokeball, and I've done this many times before: patience and a shitload of Pokeballs. And I could have done it too. Like, I could have caught Zacian with a Pokeball, but what screwed it up for me was I could have sent out any other Pokemon, but no, I sent out Colossal with the ability Flame Body, and it just had to burn Zacian on contact. This Flame Body just had to activate and burn Zacian on contact with its HP almost depleted. And it was in the middle of the night too. So I'm like, okay, you know what? Like I said, I'm not gonna spend hours doing this. I'm just gonna throw a Master Ball at it. It's late in the middle of the night. I have to get up early the next day. But overall, that was the only disappointing thing. Overall, it was a good game, but overall, I mean, I could have caught that Zacian with a Pokeball. Like, I mean, what am I gonna do? Start over? Hell no. Like, I'm not gonna start over, right? Like, I've worked too hard for this. I've worked too hard to get to that point, and I'm not gonna start over, right? I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you have that legendary Pokemon in your team, it's what matters, right? But what's really disappointing for me is that I could have caught it with a Pokeball. I could have caught it with a Pokeball. Okay, I've done it, but like I said, I've done it before in previous versions. I know with and it's taken me it took me like about an hour and a half at the most. It took me like I had to reboot the game like 20 30 times because I kept. But you know what? At the end of it, I managed to catch a full on legendary Pokemon with a Pokeball. Okay, a lot of people. I know one of my I know in the past somebody once told me that I had the patience for it, which is true. I have the patience for it. You just need a lot of Pokeballs and a lot of patience. That's all you need. And if you have a Pokemon with sleep or paralysis, well and good. But anyways, overall it was a good game. I'm still disappointed in my legendary Pokemon catching on Pokemon Sword, but hey, you know what? It is what it is. At least I got Zagian. At least I have that. At least I have a legendary that legendary Pokemon or the legendary Pokemon of Sword in my team, and yeah, but for sure, I mean, I don't have Shield yet, but when we get down to it, when I get down to Pokemon Shield, like Zamazenta is gonna be caught with a Pokeball. Like I don't care how long it takes. I don't care how many hours it takes. I'm gonna catch that thing with a Pokeball, and I'm not using my Colossal. Any Pokemon with Sandstorm, with the ability that causes a sandstorm, or that can burn, uh, your opponent on contact, like Flame Body, like I'm not using it. I learned my lesson from Pokemon Sword, and I think me using Colossal when I in to battle Zacian in Pokemon Sword was the part that screwed it up for me. And like I said, if I hadn't used Colossal, I could have caught it with a Pokeball. Hands down, I could have caught it with a Pokeball. It might have taken several tries, but I could have caught it with a Pokeball. I would have and I could have. That's all I'm saying. But anyways, that's it for me. That's my little review on it. Pokemon Shield is gonna be coming. Well, I mean it's already out in stores, but I haven't played Pokemon Shield yet. I know who I'm starting out with in Pokemon Shield. So I don't know if I'm gonna stream that because it's pretty much Pokemon Shield is pretty much the same thing as Pokemon Sword. Is the only difference is in Pokemon Shield you get Zamazenta, Pokemon Sword you get Zacian, and then and then the fourth gym in Pokemon Sword is Bea, who uses the fighting type Pokemon, and then in Pokemon Shield, the fourth gym leader is I believe Alistair, who uses ghost types. I believe. I'm gonna have to double check on that, but I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming Pokemon Shield or not. But for sure, I will be streaming when I get to the part to catch when I get to the part where I fight Zamazenta in Pokemon Shield. I will be streaming that. I will be streaming that uh because that legendary Pokemon is gonna in Pokemon Shield is gonna go inside a Pokeball. Like I'm not using the Master Ball. I know you get the Master Ball after you become Pokemon Champion. So after you become Pokemon Champion, uh, um, the professor who is the grandmother of Sonia, Sonia's grandmother will come and will give you a Master Ball. That's for you to use like on either Zacian or Zamazenta. I used it on Zacian because I had no other choice. Okay, like it was to a point where its health was almost depleted and it was burned, thanks to my Colossal's flame body. Thanks to me, okay, screwing it up for myself because I could have sent out any other Pokemon, but I sent out Colossal. But I learned my lesson from Pokemon Sword. Pokemon Shield is when I fight Zenta in Pokemon Shield, I'm catching that thing in a Pokeball. I'm not using a Master Ball because I know I could do it. I've done it before. I've done it before. I got so many legendary Pokemon in previous Pokemon games with a Pokeball. Okay, Groudon, Kyogre, Rayquaza, Mewtwo, um, Deoxys. If you, I think what was it in Pokemon's X and was it X and Y or Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire? I know you fight Deoxys in one of those versions. You fight a Deoxys there, level 80. I caught him with a Pokeball. Okay, it took a shitload of Pokeballs, but I did it. Okay, so Zenta, Pokemon Shield is gonna be caught in the Pokemon. I'm not gonna make the same mistake again like I did with Zacian. But anyways, that's it for me. I'm gonna get out of here and See you guys in the next video. Cheers.